Hey everybody, I'm John Granado. You can hear me mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Josh Jordan is on Sunday mornings on Moneyline, and he's also the editor-in-chief at SportsMapHouston.com. So go there and hit subscribe right now so you get all of our content here at SportsMap HOU. Hey Josh, the Astros, I know you're a big fan. 92.5, the under-over. BetMGM says that's their win total. You got the over, you got the under.
Oh, man, if I was setting the line, I think I'd put it about right there when they win 95 last year. So if I have to take a side, I'm going to slightly take the under. I think they'll be right around 90 wins this year.
You know, it's funny. Jeremy Branham brought this up a few times. If Carlos Correa is so good, worth all that, how come, the win total is still 92.5 and this team could possibly be about the same as last year? I think it's a pretty good argument. They're still a really, really good baseball team.
They are, but I think we have to account for Lance McCullers. Guy's not even throwing a baseball yet, so who knows what we get out of him this year. I'm very hopeful for Verlander, but he's an older guy coming off Tommy John. So, there's some other concerns, not just Correa.
No, I don't. I think you're right. Listen, if Verlander wasn't here though, and McCullers was, I wouldn't feel as good about this team. Am I right? Because the way Verlander has pitched and Verlander's career and everything else, I'll trade a good Verlander for McCullers right now. I don't think, and I think Verlander is going to be really good. I think the biggest X factor, I think there are two X factors. Alex Bregman. He's got to be good again. I don't think that there's any question about that. If he's not good, it's going to really hurt their chances to be a contender. And then there's Jeremy Pena. And if Jeremy Pena gives you somewhat close to, not Carlos Correa, but if he gives you close to Carlos Correa's defense and he gives you something in the 750 neighborhood OPS offensively, I think that you got a chance to be really, really good again.
I do too. And I think for exactly what you just said, a lot of it's on Bregman. Like, the Astros have been great with Correa, missing a fair amount of time, not last year, but over the last few years, Correa's missed his share of time. If Bregman can kind of turn back into that healthy version of Bregman, it may be kind of a wash. If Bregman turns back into that all-star caliber player and they lose Correa, and as long as Pena is just serviceable, yeah, I think they may not skip a beat. So I'm very hopeful. We got to see that Bregman again. It's been a while.
I think are you more concerned about McCullers? Are you more concerned about Bregman, about Pena? What about center field? Are you concerned at all about center field too?
If Jake Myers comes back healthy, I'm not concerned about center field.
You're not?
I'm really big on him. What I saw in the playoffs, I really saw some clutch gene happening. He's got a lot of talent, but, that is a serious injury. So, he throws and swings a bat for a living, and it's his shoulder. So you got to make sure that thing's right. But I'm not too worried about center field. I think they'll be okay. And McCormick's a decent stopgap. That doesn't worry me too much. So, McCullers worries me because, he was the ace of your staff last year. He's a young guy, and, he could make a huge difference if he's ready to go at the end of the season. But we know the Astros, they slow played the Verlander injury. We didn't think there'd be a chance McCullers wouldn't be ready to go at the beginning of the season, and now he's not even throwing a baseball yet. So it's kind of hard to trust what you're hearing from the Astros about injuries.
I'm not expecting too much. I'm hoping, and I think Pena's going to be just fine defensively. I'm not expecting all that much offensively. If he does give you that, that's great. Bregman, to me, is the biggest concern. If McCullers doesn't come back, you still got a really good rotation. Okay, Odorizzi's in there, but maybe Javier will be in there or whatever, and you can fade Odorizzi with that bullpen, I think, with Javier giving you long relief. Bregman's the biggest concern for me. Bregman has got to be back to Bregman. Otherwise, you don't have 6 solid bats in that lineup. You've already taken Correa's bat out of it. If Bregman is not going to be a really, really good hitter, you're not as formidable. You're not going to win nearly as many games. I think Bregman, to me, is your biggest concern.
And I see that. What I thought was interesting is, BetMGM had their odds out for AL MVPs. And I think they listed the top 10 guys. Only 2 Astros were on there. Neither one of them were Altuve or Bregman. It was Jordan and it was Kyle Tucker. So, maybe we're seeing the changing of the guard here, but, that's interesting to me that when they look at the 2 best hitters on the Astros, they point out Jordan and Kyle Tucker. So, Bregman's, he's got to bounce back and have that big year, man. He's got to get back into being that MVP level player.
And the wild card for me is Machete. If he can just hit 200, damn it, we're going to be – this is a World Series year. Go Machete.